Has this been a long time coming? Has Pat tried to get you on the staff before? Or have you guys talked about this before?
It's a great question. This was the third time. And I finally said yes. So, yes. 3 other times he asked me to come when he first came. And then another time at the end of the 2017 season, beginning 18, and then this time. And I finally said, yeah, let's go.
Why was this time right for you?
Be totally honest about it. I still like to pursue to become a head coach, if I'm being honest. And I feel like over here, obviously, a lot of people want to get a head coach from a program that is winning championships and things like that. Love the opportunity over at Northwestern. I think, still got Coach Braun is doing a great job over there. He's going to be a great head coach for a long time. I just think the path is quicker here than there, if I'm being just totally honest about it. And that was one of the main reasons, other than obviously knowing the entire defensive staff pretty personally. It was a great fit at the time in my coaching career.
How would you describe your relationship with Pat?
Oh, we were together for so long. We were together for 11 straight years. All right, then we were away from each other 11 years. Now we back together. But I remember in like year 8, Pat and Mike Tressel and myself, we were together for so long. I said, y'all know we brothers for life now. We connected for life. We spend more time with each other than we do with our own families. And so we've always stayed in contact with one another throughout the year, especially during football season. Great job, great win, congratulations, all those type of things. And but Coach Deuce, he's very energetic. He don't mind. You know what he's thinking. You don't have to guess what he's thinking. I love people like that. You know what he's thinking. But we sat next to each other up in the booth for those 11 straight years, 3 at Cincinnati and another 8 at Michigan State. And I was the signal guy. I had to get personnel, I should say. I had to get the personnel and get out, what we were playing. And he make his call based off the personnel call. We have a good play. I always tell people I was always to his right in the booth for most times. And he smacked me on my arm after we have a great play or something like that. And then but let's go, So yeah, we had a lot of great times together and won a lot of football games together. And I'm excited to do it again here with him here at Pitt.
It's been roughly 10 years since you've been in the same building with him. What are some of maybe the differences you've noticed in these first couple weeks since being back with him?
It's actually a lot of the same stuff. He's taking me back. I said, wow. Because he's doing a lot of things like Coach D'Antonio did, which why wouldn't you? We were very successful over there, won championships and things like that, and played a lot of good football. So it's really a lot of things. My mind things are just flooding back from things that we did over there, not only schematically but just structurally with the program itself. And you see a lot of the same things in that way, and it makes I feel at home. I feel at home really, and very comfortable.
Like personality-wise, anyone will change over the course of 10, 11 years, but how's Pat himself different from what he was when you guys were together at Michigan State?
He's still pretty much the same, kind of, to be honest with you. I haven't seen it. Let's see. Ask me that question once we start, maybe in October. Let's see if anything is different with him being a head coach as opposed to a defensive coordinator. But seems everything pretty much the same as of right now. I'm going to be on him about discipline and doing all the right things. I love how he's running the program from the things that I've seen so far about the kids, make sure they're going to class, holding them accountable to that, leadership, all the things that I was used to when we were together before.
Go ahead.
What's your relationship like with Corey Sanders, obviously taking over as safeties coach, but he's now the defensive coordinator? What's your relationship like with him?
My relationship is good with Corey. So he was the one that I knew least in the defensive staff room, but we did get to know each other over the years because he's been here at Pitt under Coach Narduzzi. So we've gotten to know each other, seen each other out on the recruiting road and all that kind of stuff, and we share Narduzzi stories and things like that. But Corey's a great coach. great man, and here to really help him the best I can. But hopefully, I know he's going to do a great job because he's a great communicator, great teacher, and does things the right way, and he cares about the young people, and that's ultimate to me.
Well, then for you, when you come to a new place, how do you look at the players, earn their trust? Like, what are the things you want to establish early?
I told the safeties and really the defensive backs that I'm about technique and fundamentals and doing things the right way. The discipline quote I always use: do what you're supposed to, when you're supposed to, how you're supposed to, every time. That's discipline, and I'm big on that. And I hold myself accountable to that as well. But I'm gonna coach them up. Each man in the room that I get a chance to touch and coach, I coach. I don't care who it is, be it the top guy or the so-called last guy. He's going to get coached up the same way with the technique and fundamentals, and I'm relentless with that. I will never stop. I say you can't mess up enough for me to stop caring to correct you. So that's how I am until they get it right. Because then, as we talked about a couple days ago in here, and I've always said this, and people have heard it before, football is a game of inches. Where do you pick up those inches in the technique and fundamentals and doing the things right? Discipline. That's where you pick up those inches.
You mentioned that you know a lot of the defensive staff other than Corey. Like, how do you know Archie and Tim and Joe and those guys?
Yeah. So let's start back and come forward. That's 2004-05 at the University of Cincinnati. Tim Doust was a GA for us down at the University of Cincinnati. That's when our staff got together in 2004. Coach Mark D'Antonio left Ohio State as defensive coordinator and became the head coach at the University of Cincinnati and put our staff together. And that's when Pat and I got together, and Pat knew Tim. And so Tim was one of our GAs down there at the University of Cincinnati. Moving forward, into now we're at Michigan State. Archie came, I think that was 2010, I want to say. 2010, I think Archie came and GA for us at Michigan State for a couple years. So that's how I know Archie. And plus, Archie went to Michigan State. Although we didn't play together, we weren't there at the same time. But we knew of each other and those things. But then he GA for us. And then moving forward, Joe Bowen came and GA'd for us at Michigan State in 2017. And then after the 2017 season, I was co-defensive coordinator at the time. I got the opportunity to go down to Florida State and become coordinator, and I brought Joe with me down there for those 2 years. So that's how I know everybody in there personally like that. We've worked together and won together.
How would you describe the duties of assistant head coach?
The duties of assistant head coach, I think support what the head coach is saying. Everything that he says, support him in that way. If for whatever he can't do something that he normally does because something else comes up, I'll step in and help him do those type of things. But really, I think ultimately it's about if the staff has something they say, can you share this with Coach about this, how we feeling about it? Letting him know where the staff is and how they're feeling, or even sometimes people don't want to say something to the head coach where they'll come to the assistant head coach. Can you say that to him? Well, sometimes I say yes, and sometimes like, no, I'm not saying that to him. You know what I mean? So, but I think along those lines, things like that, we do have I think a really great relationship, Coach Narduzzi and I, and a relationship that's built on trust and respect and love. And so I can go to him and just be honest with him, and be it he say yes or no, it's all good.
What's it like just getting the opportunity to come back home and play for your hometown team?
It's a blessing, just coming here, being prepared to work, and go to the NFL. They send a lot of good corners to the NFL, and just having this opportunity is really, put me in a good spot.
When you were coming out of high school, did Pitt contact you much?
Very briefly, I wish they did though, but all things happen for a reason. They ended up coming back, it all came back around full circle.
There have been a few guys that have done the same thing where they've started somewhere and come back home. Did you talk to any of them? Did any of that impact your thoughts?
I mean, I haven't talked to them, but a lot of my teammates here now I've talked to, and some I've been in close relations with, you know what I'm saying? Like Cruz Brookins, I talked to him as soon as I got into the portal. He contacted me. Me and Cruz go way back from 7-on-7 teams, playing against him in Pop Warner football. those one of them people that like contacted me when I first, had the chance to come to Pitt.
How'd those matchups go against Cruz?
It was real competitive. Me and Cruz, we always talk about it too. It was just like my team would have beat yours, this, that. It's just, and that's how we are. Just real competitive.
Was there a possibility of this happening last year? Did you end up talking to Pitt at all when you were in the portal last year?
I didn't last year, but they ended up coming back this year, and the opportunity presented itself. The right time. Like I was talking to Coach Sanders, he was just like, the opportunity is like it's right now. So come here, you're gonna be a Pitt Panther.
When you look at the secondary, Kanye's a local guy, Cruz is a local guy, Rashawn Murray and Barksdale. I mean, what's it just like getting together with a group like this and being able to play for the hometown?
It's good, like having an all Pittsburgh back end is all like, some of the best back ends in Pitt, have been all Pittsburgh back end. So, but, I've known all them too. So our chemistry is really good. Like Rashawn Murray is my first cousin. Like I've been playing with Cruz. I knew Lil Day since he was a youngin'. It's all like the chemistry's there just because we all known each other being local guys. And Kanye too.
You mentioned Rashawn being your cousin. I mean, did he talk to you much when you were in the portal about coming here?
Yeah, and like this is something like we've been talking about since kids. It's just like, yeah, we could play on the same NFL team, same college team. Like we just want to play together. Like we always grew up around each other, just pushing each other. So now that we actually had that chance to really do it, it's just like a dream come true.
Shadarian Harrison and Sean Lee, returning guys here. What's been like working with them, in the film room and on the field so far?
Really good players. Shadarian, me and him actually was getting working extra on the field. Like, me and him always finished like that, just on the field, catching footballs, like, just trying to be the last ones off the field, And Sean Lee, he's a real smart kid for how young he is, like you could see it. I seen a lot of him just like, even on tape playing early, like he sees the game a little different as a young kid. So I can see him taking that, like, that big step in his sophomore year. Me and him talked about that already. And just the confidence between them two and, like, just talking to them, just trying to get the playbook down. Like, it's a good relationship between all three of us.
How do you feel like, playing in Miami, Ohio, then in Auburn, now in Pitt, how do you feel like you've matured over these last few years?
I think the biggest part of growing up was really when I left Miami, Ohio. It was already a tough decision because I loved it there. I really didn't want to leave. But, going to Auburn, it really had to grow up. I'm going down south away from home, away from everybody, just having to make those grown man decisions and, just try to live like a pro and just, isolate myself to just get myself better and better. So now, coming back here, now it's just like the last year and let's just take that extra step of just being that, upperclassman, that leader.
What was it like playing in the SEC against some of that talent?
It was fun. Like, going against that talent every week and even every day in practice. Like, we had Cam Coleman, Eric Singleton, like those guys, like Perry Thompson. Like, we were going at it every day. Like, I loved the competition that we had in there.
After being away, what's the value to you to being able to be 10 minutes from home?
It's just, I was missing a lot of things family-wise, like, being so far away. Like, now I'm here able to, like, help my family, be there for my family. That's probably the biggest part, and just, being home, it feels a little different. Like, when you're away, it's just, like, sometimes you get a little homesick. But, being home, being 10 minutes away, it's just a blessing. Like, I'm here able to help do anything, like, helping with the community. It's all, like, it's all very beneficial.
What are your biggest strengths as a cornerback?
I would say my instincts. I have really good IQ, really good ball skills. My length helps me a lot. So, putting all of that together with a physical corner and being a bigger corner that I am, it makes it a lot harder for the receivers just to get open, get around me, or get any type of passes caught on me. So I would say that.
You guys, how's being a college student?
It's great. Been a nice transition. I'm enjoying it. Just growing up as a person, I feel.
We always talk, when guys enroll early, it's like, they're learning the playbook more. But do you feel like the other part of it, like just adapting to the college lifestyle, has that helped you a lot being here early?
Yeah, I would say that too. Just Yeah, I just think being early, that's the best thing to do. You get to experience everything 5-6 months earlier. You get to get bigger and do everything, all that early.
When you get recruited, you hear a lot of things. You find that a lot of the things that they were saying are true early through some of your work.
Yeah, I think everything's been true. Coach Collins, like always called me. He was telling me about like the food and everything, how I would be able to gain, the weight room and everything, and I think it's all been true so far.
How would you describe your relationship with Coach Collins so far?
I think we have a pretty good relationship, close relationship. When I was back at home, he used to call me like every other day. He also called my mom, checked in on my mom to see how she would do at times. So I think we have a good relationship.
What can you do as a player to make sure you set the right impression of who you are to the coaches?
Just do everything right. Do what I'm supposed to do at the right time, when it's supposed to be done, I would say.
Coach Collins is your position coach. Who was your main recruiter when you were recruited?
10th grade year, Pitt was like the first Power 4 school I talked to. Coach Sanders came, and he talked to me for like an hour, told me he liked my film and stuff, told me he would stay updated with me. And throughout the season, my junior season, every game, my highlights I would post on Twitter, I always sent them to him. He would always react to them, tell me nice and all that. Told me he would have Coach Collins come see me. So I would say Coach Sanders until Coach Collins came and visited me those 2 times. And then after that, it was just me and Coach Collins.
You mentioned Pitt was first. How important was that to you in the decision that they kind of found it first?
It was. I wouldn't say they had to do them coming first had to do anything with my decision, but it definitely played a big role. Cause like after I talked to him, like, cause I didn't get the offer that day, but like I'm like, oh yeah, I like Pitt. I started like looking in on them. I did. After that, I wanted the offer. I'm like, I liked the school, so yeah.
It's been like just, I guess, adjusting to college life, adjusting to the speed of play, college football, and everything like that.
It's been good. Some things, like first week, I would say like weight room things were like a little challenging or not getting used to it, getting the feel for things. But now I would say like I'm pretty comfortable with what I'm doing, and yeah.
You had much of an opportunity to talk to Sean Lee just about what it took as a true freshman to get on the field early, the type of work ethic you need to have.
Yeah, I talk to him a lot actually. Yeah, he just tells me like I said, do the right things. Show the coaches make the coaches feel like they can trust you on the field and just play fast every play.
How's it been being a college student for a month and a half now?
It's definitely different. My senior year of high school, I had 3 classes. 1 was online and 2 were in person. So I was getting out of school at 9:15 every day. College life is different. Like, nobody's staying on you about your work. Like, it's all independent. It's all you waking up, you're going to class. In high school, like, your coaches are going to be on you, your teachers are going to be on you, your parents are going to be on you. And I'm not from here, so I don't have any of that luxury. It's just all on you. And I think being a college student, I think it's really like, it develops you as a man. It develops like your own responsibility and your own accountability.
Do you thrive with that? Like, are you enjoying that challenge?
Yeah, I love a good challenge, but I've always been pretty good about getting stuff done and being able to do stuff on my own. So I think college, it didn't really change anything. Like, my high school team was pretty much the same. But yeah, it didn't really change anything.
You hear a lot about family here. How has it been, like, getting to know your new teammates and settle in?
It's been really good. Everybody here is really genuine. Like, you're not going to go around here and be like, oh, I don't want to talk to him, he's a bad guy. Everybody around here will talk to you. Everybody around here will help you. It's just a bunch of great people here, and that's one of the reasons why I came here.
What's it been like the first couple of weeks working with Coach Barnett?
It's been really good. Definitely getting to know a new coach. I introduced myself to him when I first found out that he was taking the job as a safety position. And I did a little bit of research on him, and he's a great guy, developed a lot of great players. And I'm really excited to get to play under him and learn from him.
What are some of the aspects about you as a safety? What makes you such a strong option out there in the secondary?
First thing I would say is definitely my speed. Coach Core used to say this thing, I have no wasted movement when I move. I'm really fluid. and I try to elevate that in my game while using that with my speed. And I also played a lot of offense in high school, so I know what stuff looks like on the offensive side of the ball. I know like what certain situations are going to expect certain routes and things of that nature.
So you mentioned some of the research you did on Coach Harlan. How about the research on Pitt? What did you see that really attracted you from a defensive standpoint?
The first thing was really the track record to the NFL. When the time I was getting recruited, they had 9 DBs in the league, I'm pretty sure. And like if you're trying to go to the NFL, which is ultimately the goal for everybody here, that's just a highlight. You know what I mean? Like that's just the stuff you look for. And there's not a lot of programs that can say that they have 9 DBs, like position alone, like 9 players in the NFL, and they're all from the same position. And that just says something about the coaching here and the development.
When you look at the safety room, Pitt didn't take anybody out of the portal. It's a pretty young group. I mean, just this opportunity for you. How do you take a hold of that one and try to make the most out of it and try to carve out a role maybe in the top 4 this year?
So when we first got here, we had our first safety meeting. Coach Barnett said they asked him if they should go into the portal and look for another safety. He said we have all we need, and I'm a firm believer in that. We have a great safety room. We have a bunch of great guys. And really, I'm blessed to be able to work with all of them. They're all great people. We're all just making each other better every single day, and I can't ask for much more in that room.
I know they like to train the safeties to play both safety positions. Is there one that you kind of favor, or one you've been studying a little bit more than the other?
The field safety, definitely.
What do you like about that?
Being able to move and being open field. And, a lot of play concepts, they go towards the field, so it's more opportunities to make plays, more opportunities to make tackles, and that's what I do.
We were talking to Kanye about how the corners are kind of on an island. If they make a mistake, it's a touchdown. That field safety is really you're the last line of defense out there. Do you kind of like that pressure too?
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like I'm a really gritty player. Like it's going to take a lot to get me to quit or get me to bring me down. And I feel like that's what you need on the last line of defense. You need to have somebody that's relentless and not willing to give up and can play when they're tired and all things of that nature.
What was your experience like in the transfer portal? How was it after you went in?
It was good after the first 3 days. Like everything kind of like my whole life changed, like kind of shifted. But being that it was a dead period and I couldn't travel in December, I think it became the scariest place in the world, honestly, because it was high at first, and then towards like the back end of December, it kind of got low, and then stuff started getting real. But ultimately, overall, it was really good. I think the transfer portal is really good. It's a good place if you know where you want to go and you're not just going in there blindly and you believe in yourself. So I think it was good.
You mentioned the portal being a scary place. Just how did you manage those 2 months that you were in the portal after finishing your season?
Kind of just staying true to myself, knowing who I am, knowing what the possibilities can be, and I know that wherever I landed, that I would be a factor. And I can't say that throughout the portal process, it was never a day that I felt like I was unwanted by a school. So I just felt like wherever I went, I would be in good shape.
What sold you on Pitt?
Just the camaraderie, the bonds, the ties. At first, I was kind of lenient on staying home, but my coach up Slippery Rock had good ties here. Like Slippery Rock's only an hour up the road, so just kind of the bonds. And Coach Collins was a really good coach. And if you want to get to the NFL, Pitt's the place to go, especially if you're a DB.
How fast can you run 100 meter?
10-1-3.
How important do you think it is to be able to, people say, how do you compare track speed to speed on the field? How would you say that?
So I've been a football player all my life, really. So I would say that track is more distance. It's hard. It will be hard for a football player to outrun a track guy if you're going forward. But when it comes to quick cutting and stuff like that, that's the edge that football players have on track. Track guys usually can't cut.
What do you think is going to be the biggest difference for you in jumping up to this level of play?
Just the speed of everybody else. I feel like, I'm fast enough to keep up. So keeping up isn't really a big issue. I just think adapting to the game speed and the game plays is probably going to be a thing. But, PSAC ball wasn't – some teams ran hurry up, but I know here, even when they're getting in the huddle, it's going to feel like a hurry up. So probably just the game speed, really.
Coming into this cornerback from Rashawn Murray also came from Division II, just like you. I mean, what are some of the things maybe he's told you about moving up to Pitt, the power level?
If you're interested, then come. Pretty much. I can't say that I really had too much conversation with Murray about coming down here, but I knew him before he even came here. So after I came here, it was just kind of like hand in hand. Like, you know, you're here, just come ready to work, and that's it, just work.
And did you watch many Pitt games? Like, were you a Pitt fan?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in McKeesport, only 20 minutes away, so yep.
Was there a style of play that really enticed you about the defense?
The corners make plays. The Coach Collins and the defensive coordinators put the guys in position to make plays, and that's what you want to do.
It's sort of, I always think it's kind of like an unforgiving position. Like you're out there on an island, right? You're just by yourself, and it's, you know, if you mess up, that's it. I mean, do you kind of like that challenge?
Yeah, that's what kind of, it goes hand in hand with track. Everyone's watching you. You can't really, like track, you can't really lie on your time. And once it's the big race, I done ran in plenty of conference championships and running for national championships, and the pressure, everything is just like, that's the joy in it. It makes everything what it is. You know, I can't say that even in some moments I might have, you know, went the other way, but ultimately, like, those are the best moments when everyone's watching, everyone's honing in on you. Like, that's the things you live for.
Tony, you were a late add to the class. Can you tell us how did you come to be part of Pitt's recruiting class?
I'll say just the relationships throughout the coaches and the staff and the players too. I'll say Pitt was actually my first offer. They offered me at my end of my sophomore year, and the relationship and just Coach Collins calling me, checking on me. Even when I committed to another school, he still said he wasn't going to give up. He stayed calling me, texting me, all those type of things, and just keeping the relationship close. And when it was time to sign, I just felt like it was the right place for me to be.
Like, how did it go kind of leading up to signing day? Did they, you know, call you over the weekend before that Wednesday, or like kind of how did all that happen?
I say Coach Collins, he called me probably like 8 to 9 times. Yeah, so I talked to him every day leading up to that moment. We were just talking about life, just life, and like even off the field, just things in that nature.
Beyond the relationships with Coach Collins, what about Pitt just stood out to you and made it, you know, an easy decision for you to come and flip over?
I say they're a disciplined team. They produced a lot of players, like really good players. I say the brotherhood, like just being in the locker room with the guys, like it's a real tight brotherhood. They care about each other too. They definitely care about each other.
We heard from other players that the coaching staff is pretty real in terms of expectations and genuine in how they are. Is that one of the things that really attracted you to?
Oh yeah, most definitely. The coaching staff we got, the best player is gonna play. It's not okay, I like him. If you're good enough, you're gonna be on the field.
That'd be just being away from home.
It's different. I feel like it's better for me. I feel like it's been developing me as a man on and off the field. Just being farther away from home, you don't have nobody in your ear trying to tell you do this and that. Just growing up, basically.
And sled riding?
Sled riding? Nah, not yet. Not yet.
How have you adjusted from the weather aspect?
I say my first week, it shocked me a little bit, but now I'm starting to get used to it.
Similar question I asked to Isaac. I mean, pretty young safety room. You see Josh Derriere going on the field last year as a freshman. I mean, what does that opportunity just mean to you that you have a chance to potentially see the field early?
It means a lot, actually. Most of the guys, we hang out together, you know, we watch film together, we go work out together, even when it's not with the rest of the team. So I say just a relationship throughout the group, and we got some young guys, and we got Cruz Brickens, you know, he's been leading us, so just watching after him, like him just doing the drill, making sure we do it exactly like he do it, just paying attention to details. It's been great.
What do you need to do and work on to get on the field early here?
I say just know what you're doing, play fast, be physical, most definitely. Coach Barnett, he's definitely a physical coach, and he wants us to be physical. So I say those things and just make plays.
Do you have one of the safety spots you've been studying more, or one you prefer to play?
Basically, in high school, I was a very, very versatile player, so whichever get me on the field faster.
During your recruiting days, you spent a lot of time down here just around the team, but what's it like now actually being part of the program?
Yeah, I was down here actually a lot. Cruz, Brookins, Coach Corey, and Coach Narduzzi was real close. So he was always preaching me to come down here on the days for practice, to go in the film room, listen. So, and now that I'm here, it's actually amazing. I love it here. Best choice I made.
What's it like, I mean, being a college student? You know, you've been here
it's different. Like, your freedom is different, and nobody's going to tell you to do your work or wake up on time 5 in the morning every day. So it's definitely a change for sure. It's a huge change.
Why do you say it's the best decision you've ever made?
Truly, Coach Corey was with me. I got hurt 2022, I think. He was with me through everything. He stayed contact. Being in college, there's thousands of people you can go to, and he was with me the whole time. And then me in school, I had enough credits and stuff. Coach Corey was preaching, come down, you're not going to regret it. And here I am. It's everything I wanted to do, get stronger, go quicker, learn faster, so yeah.
It's like being a defensive back with someone like Chris Brooks as a high school issue.
One more time.
Like, what's it like being in the same, safety defensive back room as someone like, Chris Brooks that's back in your high school?
It's definitely, you can't say it's a blessing because, he was with me when I was a freshman. He taught me a lot of things. He's still teaching me a lot of things. I have even Ray on, Strader, he's from up here, Pittsburgh. So being with them type of guys from here, it's bond. It's like a bond. It can't really be broken. So for sure, all it is now is just learning. So.
Its reaction back in high school or the community of you staying home? Like, do you feel the impact of the importance of staying home?
Yeah, actually I do, because the younger generation of kids, now they're looking up to me even more than they was in high school. I'm a hometown kid. I'm still here, so 17 minutes away from the facility. From home, I could stop by. I could give talks to the elementary and high school still. Have a lot of access to that, so me being here, being a hometown kid, it's everything you could ask for, truly.
What do you take advantage of most being this close to home?
Definitely seeing my parents and stuff, seeing my family and stuff like that. And also, I could do a lot of things like go to basketball games, stuff like that, show my face a little bit, how that is.
How would you describe yourself as a defensive back? What are some of the attributes you would say are your strongest?
I would say coachable. Overall, I would say coachable. Coach Burnett, he's going to tell you the truth. Even Coach Sanders, when he was the safety coach, Coach Collins, they will tell the truth. They'll be blunt with you. So one thing I could say overall is just being coachable, truly.
What are some of the things you're trying to work on in these first couple months that you're here?
Everything. You could be 1% better every day. So little things I could say, though, is my hips, get them a little looser, learn the playbook, learn everything, learn what the corners do, what I do, and how to communicate better.
Is that one of the things to detail? Like maybe in high school, your athletic ability, you could beat somebody, but now at this level, you've got to be on your details.
Yeah, you got to know what you're doing. You can't really go out there lost, because you go out there lost, you're going to get beat. These are the best of the best high school players in their schools, so you got to be that 1% better.